Hello everybody, how are you today? This is Ryan coming back at you with another video today. Today I am actually going to see Django Unchained, a movie I've been looking forward to since I first heard it was being made. I've been a Quentin Tarantino fan most of my life. I think I snuck and watched it, Pulp Fiction, and back in '95. I think it was on HBO or something, and it was just out the previous year in the cinema. And I've just always loved his films. He's one of my favorite directors. Pulp Fiction is on my top 50 favorite films list. You know, I love every single one of his films the same. You know, they each have their own little masterpiece. They each have their own reasons that they're a masterpiece, you know? And so today, I'm going to see Django Unchained. It's Sunday, and I think it was released on Christmas Day. And so, will this movie live up to the expectations? I have very high expectations for it. Let's see. I mean, I guess, I do know a lot of people that love Quentin Tarantino have mentioned how much they love this movie. And I have heard a couple of criticisms, not really big ones, but some people that I know that like Quentin Tarantino have mentioned a couple of criticisms, and I'm not going to mention them here, but actually I'll mention one. I've heard not countless, but about 3 or 4 people out of like the 20 that I've watched their reviews and stuff. Some people have mentioned that the third part of the film tends to slow down a tad, and DiCaprio isn't the greatest choice for that role, and this comes from people that love DiCaprio as an actor, and he's one of my favorite actors right now. And so I'll address those after I see the movie and how I feel personally about it. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion. So I'm heading home now. I'm going to get some lunch, and I am going to... The movie starts in about 45 minutes, and I live right across the street, almost right across the street from one of the cinemas in my city. So, all right, guys, I'll get back to you in a second. And up here on the left, no, not left. I'm not really all that great with directions sometimes. I can be an idiot sometimes. Up here on the right is the cinema where I will be seeing the movie. Alright guys, I'm at a red light though, but I'm heading to the cinema right now, once again to see Django Unchained, and I just grabbed a quick bite to eat. The movie starts in about 13 minutes, no, 18 minutes, and I actually had some leftover lunch from yesterday, just some subs, and we had some leftover, so I had some, and I quickly drank a diet soda, and now I am heading to the cinema. And don't worry, whenever I get out of the movies, it's actually not going to be a spoiler-filled review. If I do hit any spoilers, I'm going to wait until the very end of the video, and I'm going to say, okay, for now on, the spoilers are going to be, I'm going to talk about spoilers. And so, yeah, that'll be probably at the end of the video. But anyways, yeah, I'm getting ready to pull into the theater. Alright guys, well, I am walking up into the cinema right now, and I will talk to you after the movie. Woo! Well, guys, I just got out of Django Unchained. First reactions was, well, holy crap. Oh my gosh, I have never, ever seen a movie that had that kind of a explosive kind of ending in a way. I mean, like, it was so, I mean, it was violent, it was hilarious, it was just insane. I mean, I can't even, to be honest with you, I cannot believe the movie is rated R. Like, it's like, take the way like the Wild Bunch is filmed, like with the gunshots and stuff, and add like 5 gallons of blood per bullet hole, and I mean, it was so insane. But with all that aside, it was a extremely good film. I loved it. I loved every single second of it. It was a great, tribute to spaghetti westerns in general. It had it even had a tribute. To me, it was kind of like an homage to blaxploitation, which is something I'm getting into right now. I've watched a few, but it was such a great film, and the cast, oh my gosh, is like huge. And Franco Neri, is it Neri or Nero? I think he plays Django in the spaghetti western film Django, and he makes an appearance in this. I guess the direction, Quentin Tarantino did 100%. Again, I don't even need to talk about the direction because it was so amazing. But everything from the title sequence to the ending, to the way it was filmed, it was just so Tarantino-like. And it was just an amazing film. Alright, where would I rate it upon his films that he's done? Of course, I like every single one of his films. Do I prefer it over Inglourious Bastards? I don't know. I think it's tied for me. That's the thing about Tarantino, is he makes movies that are so good, it's really hard to compare them. And I love Pulp Fiction. That was the first film I ever saw of his. But, I don't automatically say that that's his best film just because it was the first groundbreaking film that he did. I think all of his films have that great quality to it. Jackie Brown, for instance, Kill Bill 1 and 2. The only film I didn't care for of his was the Grindhouse film. I don't know, maybe I just wasn't in the mood, but I'll have to give it a try again. But his films that he's done, his regular films, I just find amazing. And this film was awesome. Jamie Foxx, who I don't really care for in real life, really did an awesome job, and I really liked him in that role. And Christoph Waltz is like turning into one of my favorite actors. He's such a scene stealer. He was great. And the one thing that I was worried about would be Leonardo DiCaprio. And at first, I got to tell you, I did have a problem, believing him in that part. But there comes a scene where he kind of loses his temper, and from that point on, he was really good at being kind of sadistic and crazy. But at first, I wasn't sold, which I knew that some people had mentioned that, but to be honest with you, after that, I was like, gosh, man, every single person in this film, Jonah Hill does an appearance, Quentin Tarantino himself does an appearance, Russ Tamblyn from West Side Story and Twin Peaks makes an appearance, James, I think it's Remar, I think that's how you say his name. There's countless people. Then a guy named Big Daddy, he's a plantation owner. He's played by what's his name? Don Johnson. The list is endless. Samuel L. Jackson was amazing as Stephen, who is a slave, but he's kind of he's in charge of all the slaves and stuff at DiCaprio's plantation, and he's like what you would consider now an institutionalized person, institutionalized in the way of he knows slavery is wrong, but by this point in his life, he's all about his loyalty to, Leonardo DiCaprio's character, and it's just, it was just such a great film. Kerry Washington was great. She was good. I wish she would have had more spoken lines as Django's wife, but everybody was good. The last thing I'm going to mention is some people have mentioned that right when DiCaprio hits the screen, he's in the movie. it's about a 3-part movie. You know, the beginning is when he, you know, kind of starts to train himself. Django does, and then he is searching for different, you know, getting bounties and stuff, getting some cash. But then the 3rd part is him actually finding his wife and escaping from DiCaprio's plantation. A lot of people have mentioned that once it hits that plantation part and DiCaprio's part, the film slows down. It does slow down. It slows down majorly. But at first, I wasn't sure how it was going to be, but it was needed. It needed to take a breather and like start the next story. To me, it was just like when you're driving on a street and you approach a red light at an intersection. You know, that's what happened. You just sit at a red light, and it's like he gave you time to catch your breath. Tarantino did, because the shootouts in this film are insane. I've never seen. I mean, it's just, I don't know. I mean, it's hard to explain unless you see it. I mean, it was like the film Dead Alive by Peter Jackson at the end, where he's like mowing over all like the zombies and stuff, and it's just blood pouring everywhere. I just felt like that's how it was, kinda. But yeah, guys, it was a great film, and I'll be right back with some closing remarks. All right, guys. I guess just to sum it up, if you're into spaghetti westerns, great filmmaking, all that good stuff, especially if you're into Quentin Tarantino's films, go see Django Unchained. It's not for the squeamish. It's extremely violent, but it's still a great, entertaining flick. I personally think it's one of the best films of the year. It's amazing. So go see it. Do yourself a favor. Go see Django Unchained. All right, guys. I hope you enjoyed this review. I'll catch you later.